Our next 100 cost unit is here in War of the Visions, and it's another little Leela character, but she is a awesome unit. I'm very excited to be pulling for her myself because I guess I'm a dark main now. Before we talk about how good Leela is, and trust me, she's really great, I'm gonna quickly remind you all to subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and go ahead and like the video if you wanna show some support. Let's talk about the pros for little Leela, and there are quite a few, and I might not even mention everything that you're thinking of, so if you do have a pro that I don't mention in this video, be sure to comment it down below so that everybody else can see it. So first off, she has slash and strike attacks, and often when you see a unit with slash and another damage type, they don't have slash penetration, and they use a different damage type to get around high slash resist. Well, Leela's still gonna have lots of slash penetration, she just also has strike attacks for when people have really high slash resistance or they're just really weak to strike. So that's pretty awesome right there. She also has very high accuracy, and we're just talking a base accuracy that's extremely high, but then she also has a plus 30% hit chance skill. And then aside from that, she's got decent bulk, which even includes a 2 cast courage skill and some AoE resistance. She can grant herself and her party members 40% slash resist penetration, which is a pretty big deal to be able to give that to other people. And she can also bestow a lot of 50% of the reduction for the counter abilities. So if you pair that 50% counter ability reduction, she also has a dagger that's coming out that gives another 30%. So you can get up to 80% counter chance reduction, which is very significant. If you hate reflex, if you hate something like Aeon Bond, she's going to deal with it. Now, she's also going to be incredibly powerful because she has things like the ability to dispel protect. She can break defense, she can break slash resist, but then she also gets defense penetration, she gets slash resist penetration. So lots of really good stuff that she can do on the damage front. Otherwise, she has a big diamond-shaped AoE that is also a dispel. So any sort of buffs that your opponents are applying at the start of a fight, she's going to be able to dispel them. And that's pretty significant to hit, like potentially hit the whole enemy team and take away all of their buffs. It's huge, and it's really going to be good for stripping tanks, especially of any sort of buffs that they put on aside from protect and shell. But again, she can get rid of protect with something else. I should also mention that she has multiple status effects that she can take advantage of. So for example, she can inflict enemies with blind, confusion, and paralysis. I don't have a lot of cons to talk about for Leela, but there are a few. So the first one is that she's very weak to pierce attack, and that basically means that you need to watch out against Earth because they'll have people like Noctis and Oberon and not Lorenzo. She also has 0 spirit, which is more significant in global than it was in JP, because when she came out in JP, they did not have Elena yet, but we do. This is significant because in JP, you're just coming up against light evasion teams that have physical units like Locke and Violet, and Leela has some innate defense. She can buff defense on her passives, she can buff defense with Sentinel, and she also has a physical barrier that she can apply with her Paladin job. Now, when we look at Elena, she's going to be able to basically bypass all of that stuff except for Sentinel, and that's a pretty significant difference because it just means that other light teams have a better chance of killing Leela than they did in JP. It just means that the playing field is going to be a little bit more level than it was in JP when Leela released. Next up, we're going to do some comparisons, and I've picked Joker and Locke as the 2 units to compare, so I'll put those stats up on screen now. Now, compared to Joker, Leela is going to hit a lot harder, and I personally think she has more utility. Her survivability is ultimately going to be higher than his, purely because of courage. That's a really big deal. She does have a little bit more HP, and she can stack more defense with things like Sentinel, but he has a very high amount of AoE resist. Now, both of them together are going to be a very durable pair and a very accurate pair, and that's a very exciting prospect. I do want to say that she has that edge over Joker with the courage because that just really helps out in modes like Guild Battle, where you're going to have multiple fights and you can use this over multiple fights. Compared to Locke, you can just see how evasive her stats are, and that's kind of interesting, but with no passives or active evasion skills, she's not going to match match his levels of evasion. Still, the trade-off that she gets is more attack, more HP, more survivability overall because of the 2-use courage, and she's just as fast as he is. Just a few more thoughts about Leela before we end the video, and the first one is that even though she doesn't have any passive or active evasion abilities, she's still going to be evasive because her luck and her agility is high. So it means if you put evasive VCs, espers, gear on her, she might actually evade some attacks, especially if she lands her LB, which will inflict blind on opponents and make it harder for them to actually hit you. I also wanted to mention that her TMR is quite interesting. It has a huge buff range. It's like the shout range for Ramza, and it has a 25% agility buff, and that's no joke, especially when you're trying to keep up with mono light teams. So it's unfortunate that it's a cloth armor, but it's something that I would be very interested in testing out. That's going to be it for this video, and you're probably wondering, should you pull for Leela? Yeah, you should, because she's really good. Now here's the thing, not everybody's going to be pulling for her, but I think that some people should. So I think she's gonna upgrade most dark account, well she's gonna upgrade every dark account. She's gonna add a lot of power for your dark combinations. If you did pull for Joker, then you must pull for her. They're just gonna be such a good pair. I really do think that that's an important pairing to keep together. If you're not heavy into dark, then you could skip her, but she is a good unit, right? Like that's just the fact of the matter is that she is a good unit. Now, her ability to give other units slash resist penetration and her natural bulk and accuracy makes her a really easy addition to a 2-element team. So if you have, let's say, 2 water units and Leela, or you have, 2 fire units and Leela, I think that's going to be pretty good. At the end of the day, she is in the regular pool of units, so you can skip her and wait till you get her eventually. And also, while select tickets don't usually have 100 costs in them, according to a commenter, Brian Lewis, JP did receive a ticket with updated 100 cost units all the way up to Dark Fina at their 2.5 anniversary. So if you're someone that spends money on the game, then you could have your eye on that ticket in order to get Leela. I mean, I might even look at that ticket in order to get Dark Fina. You should also keep in mind that we may get a global exclusive at some point during this summer, and we're expecting to get summer units. Now, the old summer units will rerun, but we should also be getting a Helena unit, because that was teased on the JP side that we would get a swimsuit Helena maybe this summer. And that's going to be it for this video. So let me know if you've decided whether you're going to be pulling for Leela or not. I'm definitely going to be pulling, and I'll hopefully be streaming it on Wednesday around 7:30 PDT. If I don't, I'll make a post about it, but otherwise you can catch me there, and otherwise I'll catch you in the next video.